Hey guys. Okay, so this is going to be our practice sugar skull worksheet. I got it offline, so that's why it says copyright 2015 Mary Straw, because that's the original person who created this document. So I'm just going to show you how I go about making mine symmetrical. Okay. So we want this side to look as much like this side as possible. Okay, so I would start by sketching very lightly. Pick things that already kind of connect to the center line. That makes it a little bit easier. And you want to try to make it look as same as possible. Okay, so I'm just kind of drawing this in. I'm going to darken it up. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing with this one. When you're completely done, you can take a black pen and go over your lines, and that'll help make it look closer to this side. Alright, so this one, I'm going to look at the shape of it, guys. So I see where it comes close and then it goes farther away. So I'm going to start right about here because that's even with that. And I'm going to have it get closer. And then farther away. I'm trying to do a mirror image. Okay, so if there was a mirror on this side reflecting this, that's what I want it to look like. Okay, so this is not quite straight. It's like at an angle a little bit. Alright, and then I want to do the same shape here. So, it's going to end right about there. Alright. Okay. You want to kind of like look at how far away things are from each other so that when you go to create it on this side, so that it'll look as much like the other side as possible. So I'm going to start with the stuff that's in the center. Like I said, if it's in the center, it's going to make it easier. Now, remember, it's a mirror image. So I'm not going to draw this same thing right here. I'm doing a mirror image. So I'm starting and I'm trying to make it look like a mirror is reflecting it. I apologize. My daughter's trying to talk to me. You know, if only I had my own studio where while I was making my videos that wouldn't happen, but it's not possible. Alright, so okay, so see how that looks pretty much like that? Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to put those 3 dots in there. I want it to be even. So I'm going to look at where this one is, and that's about where this one's going to go. And then okay. This one could probably come down a little bit. And this one maybe over a little bit. That'll work. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna do this little shape right near the nose. So this one right here. So I'm looking at about where it ends. It's gonna be right about here, and it's gonna come down and away. Okay. I know this is something that I see a lot where people they'll instead of mirroring it, they accidentally draw it the same way. So just make sure that you're looking at it, and it should be the opposite of what this side is. So if this side's facing, you know, this part's facing to the left, then this one is going to face to the right. Okay? So this one, it's curving to the left, so I know it's going to curve this way. So, it's going to be about that far away. I want to make sure I get it right. It's pretty close. Alright, so I can see here, this comes in like this, comes down, okay, and we got 3 more of those dots. This is not close enough. Maybe this needs to come out further. I think it does. Alright, so I'm going to erase that. And I'm going to erase this because it needs to be bigger. Alright, so this, I mean, I've got the right start to it, but it needs to be bigger. There we go. I think that's a little bit better. Alright, so then and it's more like that. Almost, sorry. Daughter's playing music and I automatically started singing it. Alright, so little one there, medium size there, larger there. I know this is still far away, but I don't know. Alright. This is going to have... Okay, so the curve's coming out. So the curve is coming out like this. And think this is right. It's messing me up to look at it. Yeah, that's right. I always draw it sketchy at first, guys, and then I'll go back in and I'll make it less so. Alright, now this has little circles going around the whole thing. Alright, so this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little things. So I'm going to draw one here. And I'm going to draw, this is just the way I do it, because I don't know, probably more of a perfectionist than I need to be. So I'm just kind of doing like the halfway marks. And then I'll just put one in between each, because that'll be 8. So then I just have to do this in between each one. See? Now I'm going to put a little circle on each. Alright. And this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This also has 8. So I'm just going to have one of these little things point at each. So if I think about this as the center, I'm just going to have one of my little things point at each one of those circles. And that should pretty much look the way it's supposed to if I do that. And I mean, remember, it's going to be colored in, so it's okay if it's not perfect, but alright, so that's pretty much done. Alright, so now what am I missing? I'm missing the flower over here. Okay, the flower is going to be a little bit harder because obviously it's not, you know, it's not going to be, it's got 5 little petals, so that's not symmetrical like this where I can just kind of, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at it and see how close it comes to the different spots I've already drawn. So, okay, so we know it's going to be over here somewhere because it comes close to the edge. And I also know it's going to come close to this. So, and it's going to come close to that. So I guess I'm going to start with the spot that's coming close to the heart. Let's see, it's coming up like this. Alright, so I know that's where one of my little things is. The other one is going to point more towards this. Okay. And then the other one's pointing towards this. And then there is going to be another little leaf or flower petal, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and it's going to have a circle in the middle here, and it's going to have a line going out to each one. And then a little circle right here. Alright, so that's that. Alright, the next thing that I need to do is this teardrop type shape, leaf shape. It's going to come close to this one here, so I know that's pretty much where it's going to stop. Where it's going to start is going to be kind of up here. So we're going to have it come down like this, and back up to there. Alright, teardrop shape, and then it's got a little mini one inside of it. Okay, alright, so now for this part right here. First of all, I know I've got this shape here that comes out. And then does that. And then this thing that looks like kind of like a messed up looking Pacman that's trying to eat the line. So it's just weird because this, I don't know. It seems like this side is, maybe I should have made my dots a little farther out, but I don't know. Whatever, it's alright. Okay. Alright. That's close. Alright, so we forgot the eyebrow, so let me do the eyebrow. Eyebrow is going to be right about there. And it's going to come up. I think this is too big. This is what you're going to have to do, guys. You notice it's not quite right, you have to fix it. Alright, so this is going to go up and come back down like an eyebrow. Okay, and we're going to erase that right there. Alright, now this for my little teardrop shape. Alright. So now this needs to, so hard to see. Okay, so it's going to come out like that. So it's going to come out like this. And then curve back in. Okay. And then this one is going to attach right here. Oh, this one needs to coat. See, I almost did it backwards. I almost drew it exactly the way it is. Alright, so this one's got to go from here. Okay. It's going to go from here and go like this. Alright, fix this up a little. It's supposed to kind of go like this. Alright. Alright, I think that works. Okay, and then now we're going to look down here at the bottom. Obviously, we need to continue the little separation in the teeth over here on this side. Okay, and I'm going to continue this flower. So right there, there. This one's easier, guys, because this is just two little bumps, pretty much. Now that was my Great Dane being clumsy, as usual. Knocking something over. Yeah, what'd you break? Now she's leaving the scene of the crime. Okay. Alright, so the one up top here is bigger. The one here is smaller. And then on the outside, bigger. And then another one of these like weird tear-shaped type things. Okay, and then one more little thing. I guess that's it. Am I missing anything? Let me see. Sometimes when you're going back and forth, you might miss something. Alright, so like I said before, the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to try to either take a marker or take a pen and very nice and neatly go over your lines. Obviously, once you do this, you're stuck. If you messed anything up, it's stuck. But this is going to make it so that it's a little bit harder to tell what side is the printed side and what side is the side that you drew. Now, if you're one of my people that has to trace the one side because you don't have access to a printer, then, I mean, it's going to be easier to mask which side is the traced and which side is the one that you drew, because they're all going to look hand-drawn. But the difference will be you know, one side will be your drawing and the other side will be the tracing. And this is also why I said maybe pen, because this line is thicker than the other line, so it does make it stand out a little bit, but it's alright. Your last step after you do this would be to color it symmetrically. Okay, you want to color the one side the same as you're going to color the other side. Alright, color this in too. Okay, alright. I'm kind of hurrying through this, guys, but it's just because I've got a couple other drawings that I need to get through tonight. I want you to take your time. This is how mistakes can easily be made. So, and if you make a mistake, it's not like you can just erase it if you're working with your pen or marker. At that point, you would have to print it out again and redo it, because you won't be able to, if you just leave it, you're going to lose points. Okay, so like I said, the last part is that you're going to sit there and take your, take your color pencils and color both sides even. Okay, it doesn't matter to me what colors you use as long as you're coloring nice and neat. You can use markers if you want. Just like I said, make sure it's nice and neat. Make sure that you don't If you're using markers, make sure they're nice and new so that you don't run out in the middle of coloring in your skull. You can keep the background of your skull dark. If you want to do a combination of marker and color pencil, I'm okay with that too. Just remember, we want it symmetrical, so if whatever you do on one side, you have to do on the other. Okay? So if this teardrop over here is blue, this one's got to be blue over here too. It's all about trying to make it symmetrical. And give us a variety of colors since there isn't a large area that's colored of it. Make sure that you're, doing some variety in there so that it looks nice. Alright. Take out my markers real quick, just to do some stuff real quick. If you are going to color with markers, make sure that you stay inside your lines. If you make a mistake, it's kind of hard to fix if you're using markers. I'm being a little bit more careful about coloring over top of this. Like I just colored right over this and it's still smeared a little bit, but if I were to color right over top of this, it would smear a lot because it's just marker, not ink. The ink has been dry for a long time. This marker I just used, so chances of it bleeding onto it is probably pretty good. Especially since the black marker I used was not permanent marker. Unlike these are Sharpies, so they're permanent. All right. Looks pretty good. All right, let's go with another color. Let's do And let's see. I went out of the lines. Not happy about that. It's because I'm rushing. Okay. Good. All right. No, I don't want to use that. I'm gonna use this red outline. I do not have a red marker. I don't know why, but my Sharpie set didn't come with a red marker. And I probably have a red marker in one of my other sets that I have put away in my storage, but I don't have it out right now. So I don't feel like going all the way in my closet to get it. So we're just gonna go with that. All right. Good. Let's use this. And the mint green in the center. That's pretty close in color, but oh well. I'll leave it as is. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go with purple. This one and this one. And I'm gonna go with deep blue for this one and this one. And okay, and the only thing that I would do other than that is I would personally shade in the nose. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to shade in behind the flower of the eye too. You can use black or you can pick another color, but I think it should definitely have something. I think another color probably would look nicer, but I'm not too worried about what color you choose. Try to make them look nice. Try to make it so that you're really thinking about the colors, but it shouldn't be anything that, you know, as long as you really color nice and neat, it shouldn't be an issue. So, this is the last part. Well, there's those two. So I'm going to have to color those in. And then this part is done. And then you see why this is kind of a practice, because it gets you used to, oops, I don't like the way that happened. Got distracted by hearing one of my kids coming out. Alright. Alright, and last thing to do, because I like pink so much, I'm just going to make this one pink, because I like pink. My favorite color. And it's nice and bright, so it looks good. So boom, that's done. You can always color in this little stripe. There we go. If you guys have any questions, just send me an email. This one should not take you too long. So I expect you guys to get this pretty much done within a couple days, and then move on to the real sugar skull.